Today is Tuesday, April 23rd. Welcome back to the Next Average Podcast, the Shelby Nick Average Podcast, or as we like to call it, Aw Snap. Whew! Good snap for today's podcast, episode 13. Like I said, today's Tuesday, April 23rd. I am Nick, the
I am
Joker
Shelby.
Emperor. Said it for
Oh,
me, love to see it. No, it works out.
there you go. We'll roll with it. With it live.
And we're going to start out this podcast how we always do, with a little bit of how you doing, Shelby?
I am feeling pretty good. I'm currently on out of town for work. I'm staying at a hotel, staying at a pretty nice hotel. My work decided to put me up in a Hampton. Spending the big bucks. So, right now I have like a king to my left. I'm sitting on the couch looking at my flat screen TV in my hotel room and feeling pretty good. How about you, Nick?
Hell yeah, I'm doing pretty well as well. We're getting towards the end of the school year. It was nice to see the family last weekend for a little bit, try to
Yeah.
hold me off till the end of school year. But yeah, we're getting down to the nitty gritty of the school year. But other than that, I'm feeling pretty well. I'm feeling pretty good as well. As we talked about a lot on this podcast, me and Shelby did a little drag and drive event this past weekend,
Ooh.
and we have some royalty among us. Mr.
God amongst
Shelby over
men
here.
right here.
Shelby over here. Well, let's not go too far. You can't be
I
stealing my
know.
nickname like that. Shelby over here won the whole thing.
I'm a winner, chicken dinner. Not we ain't talking about third nor second, but first place, baby.
There were upwards of 150 cars in the whole event. And the class that Shelby participated in, there were over 75 cars.
I
So
think
over half of
78
so over
total.
half of the cars that were at this entire event participated in the class that Shelby was in. And he won the class.
Yeah, so the class is called You versus You, which if you're a drag racer, that's more or less bracket racing. But what bracket racing is, it's you dial in a time. For my instance, it was 11:42, which was my fastest time. You dial that in, and your job for bracket racing or You versus You is to get as close as you can to that number without breaking. Breaking meaning going too fast. So we had three different tracks we went to. The first track, I set my 11:42, or no, 11:41. Sorry, 11:41. And then the second track we went to was Eighth Mile, which that correlates to I think roughly 7:24. So by the end of those track days, the first and second day, I had a difference, an average difference, because you had to turn in your slips, and whichever slips you're happy with is what they counted. I had a average missing of 0.008, which is absolutely insane because anything from a headwind, tires, even shifting just a little bit different, it can show up on the time slip. And the fact that I was damn near perfect through the first 2 days is insane.
Yeah, your time didn't go to the 10th. Your time didn't even go to you had the same 10th on the time sheet, on the time cards, and the same 100th.
Mm-hmm.
It had to go to the 1,000th of a second for there to be a difference.
Yep.
That's
And
how on it you were.
oh, dude, so on it. And what's really crazy is, the first day I turned it in. It was my PR. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't go into this thinking I was gonna be remotely close to first, because I mean the people who do bracket racing do bracket racing. I mean they're on it, and especially because in this event you can run anywhere up to 35 times in 3 days. As long as you just turn in the slips that you need to, and they're around the time that you had to post, you pass. Right. And so I say 35 because there's an instance where a woman that was driving a car did 35 passes through the 3 days. I bet, and she got third. I counted them. I did two at the first day. I did three, but one of them didn't count because I red lit. So two at the second day. And then I did four at the third day. My last two being two that I didn't even use because I went too fast. So, meaning pretty much the first six passes I did is what I turned in.
First five passes, which makes that even cooler.
First five. Correct,
Because
correct.
the first track took a little bit long to get all the cars situated, so we only had to turn in one time slip. And I say we because I also took my car, but unlike Mr. Shelby over here who won the whole damn thing, my car decided that it was tired and that it did not want to participate, so it broke on me.
I'm
And
tired,
so
boss.
and so sadly I did not get to participate past day 1, I should say. But that means that Shelby over here got his co-pilot back. So I did
Co-pilot, baby.
got my little passenger princess shoes all on and ready, and I was having the time of my life over there.
Oh, for sure.
I
And I
was
will
there
say,
for I was there for good
you
vibes, good tunes, and whatever Shelby needed.
facts. I will say, Nick, into the group, you are such a good co-pilot because you like understand what needs to get done. So like when we pulled up to a track, Nick's like, "Hey Shelby, what needs to happen?" I'm like, "Okay, so that needs to get unloaded. Da, da, da. I'll get my tires going." By the time I got my tires switched over, which doesn't take long, this man had my whole car cleaned out, ready to go and whatnot. And always he, I felt like I was being interviewed for a podcast. There was one night that we decided to race in the morning, go down to a destination to do some go karting, which we will talk about later,
Oh
and
yes,
then
we
drive
will.
back that same night. Was it 2.5 hours?
So the drive back was more like 4 hours.
Or really? It was like 4 hours, huh? It
Because
was a long ass time. Yeah.
yeah, we didn't leave the fun activity until about 8. We didn't leave the restaurant until about 10. And we got to our hotel at 2:30 in the morning. Because by the time, like, obviously we're in our race cars, so we're not going the posted speed limit. We're going a little bit slower than that, so that way cars can stay cool and whatnot. And the other thing is that we had to take a specific route. Like the people who put this on gave us like a route sheet that we had to follow, and certain checkpoints or venues that we had to take pictures of with the car in the photo to kind of prove that we followed their route.
Right. And we didn't just, hop on the damn highway or something.
Yeah, so what was normally a 2 hour trip from the city to from the first city that we were at to the second city that we were going to on the interstate, we took back roads and had to stop to look at some pretty cool checkpoints and venues and whatnot.
Yep.
But yeah, because we didn't, it was a long day. We probably got up at like 7:30 or 8 that morning and then didn't get back to our hotel until 2:30 in the morning. But those are what
Yeah,
those
it
drag and
was.
drive events do to you. That's the fun part, you know? It's not gonna be so fun if everything's all fine and dandy and easy and you're getting all the sleep that you need and whatnot, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. It was a trip, man. Like I'm sure he noticed, but I was like damn near falling asleep at the wheel, dude. It was rough getting back to that final spot.
It
And
wasn't damn near
so,
falling asleep at the wheel. It was looking over and seeing your entire head outside of the car going
dude,
50 miles an hour.
I needed something, bro. I needed something. I was like a damn dog. I was like, "Fuck, dude. I'm out of thoughts. I need to do something." And so Nick just started asking me. He's like, "So who do you think the Chargers should draft?" Like, just start asking me a bunch of like sports questions. And I told him after everything was said and done, I was like, "What's really funny about that is you can ask me the same questions and probably get a whole different response because now I'm awake to actually like soak in the question." It was tough. It was really tough. It was a very stressful day, and at that track in the beginning, like I said, I wasn't planning on winning or anything like that. But I realized what I was doing because I was looking at the third digit or fourth digit on my time slip, realizing that it is barely different than everything else. I was like, holy shit. And so I told just about everyone who could hear. I mean, I told your dad, your mom, my girlfriend, your honorary uncle for the weekend, all at different times. So I told probably 6 people the exact same thing, what was going on, and saying I have a chance to win this damn thing. Look at this. And so I think I was riding that high, and then with the go karting and getting absolutely screwed by this fucking old dude with a long goatee that I want to shred up. I want to put his beer in a dishwasher or a sink disposal and just turn it on and just witness his fear in his eyes. Because
What's up?
fuck that dude. He doesn't
We
understand what I lost.
on the podcast a couple weeks ago, we were talking. Me and Shelby talked about, we're going go karting, and it's gonna be me versus him out there, and so we made a bet. I even gave Shelby a head start.
Don't
The way
don't
that
be like I gave like it
well,
was a handicap.
the way that the way that the go kart place worked is that we all sat down in a line at the go karts, and they released you one by one to like not clog the starting line because everybody's trying to drag race each other, you know, at the very beginning. So they released everybody one by one, and Shelby turns to me and he says, "Do you want to be up front or do you want me to be up front?" And I said, "Shelby, I will let you take the front go kart for this race." So, motherfucker, I did let you go up front. I understand that one of us had to go up front, but I said I will let you take the beginning go kart. But so Shelby takes off. I have to wait my turn for the whistle, for the guy to blow the whistle to say that I can start. So I'm just seeing my competition drive away. So I'm just sitting there, antsy. Like, come on, come on, come on, come on. He blows the whistle. I take off. I go past the first turn. I go past the second turn. About the third turn, I can see Shelby. I can see him in front of me. And I'm like, there he is. I'm coming. I'm gonna catch him. And all of a sudden, as soon as I think to myself, I'm gonna catch him, I'm on his tail, I see this old guy just absolutely swindle him. And it was perfect.
That
Because
fucking dude.
go karts are very, wishy washy. It doesn't take a lot to spin them out. And I think Shelby went past this old guy, because he's trying to create the gap on me. And as soon as he goes past this old guy, the dude hits Shelby's back tires,
I want
spins him out.
I want to kick him in the fucking teeth, dude.
It took all of like 30 seconds for all of the trash talking and shit talking that me and him did to each other to completely go out the window.
Dude, and here's the thing. So I was on his ass, right? And I was driving, and it was a kind of a hairpin turn, and so he took the outline, or no, he took the inside, right? But he was going super slow. So okay, cool. I'll pass him on the outside. So I went to pass him on the outside. Mind you, I gave him enough space. It wasn't like I cut him off Like he had space. It's just I was going faster around the turn than he was. And so he took the hairpin super tight. I took a little wide, came around him. I got about a cart width or a cart length away. This motherfucker had the audacity to masterfully, like, Need for Speed Most Wanted, hit my damn, rear quarter panel, spin me out, and of course, there's this because it was like I said, a hairpin turn. There's like this little guardrail. I got stuck underneath the guardrail, right? So this guy is like directly to my right shoulder, and when you're stuck or need help or anything, you throw your hands up, right? So I threw both my hands up, and the dude's like, "Oh, what the hell?" Like he didn't know I was one on his ass. Two, I passed him, and three, like he didn't do it on purpose. There's no way you cannot tell me that motherfucker did not just see me like, this kid, this long haired kid ain't doing that. Tap my tire, did that, and of course, so there was my Nick's dad, Nick, and like a bunch of other racers behind him, right? So of course they all pass me. I hear like the Green Goblin, that's Nick, laughing as he passes me.
I was so excited.
I'm trying not to throat punch this old dude. And of course, because it was right off the bat, all the carts are coming down. And so they couldn't just run up there, out there right away, which is fair, whatever. But they got him unstuck first. And so then he just takes off. I'm stuck up underneath this. And like I said, our honorary uncle that we're going to get more into, he's the nicest dude. He is the nicest dude. He stops middle of the track to let me go first, to let me go in front of him. Like I said, swell guy, badass guy. He just stops in the middle of the track of this turn, and other people are coming up like, just like going around him. He's like, what the hell is this guy doing? And so the person waves him on. So like Mitch was trying to be nice, but then screwed me because then the person had to wait for him to stop and then slowly go ahead of me to do that. So I went from, I think I was in like fourth or fifth starting out to like last because all the carts has to go by.
Yeah, because you started in front of me, and throughout that entire race, I was pinpointed on beating you. Like the entire like pre-game thought mentality was just beat Shelby. I don't care who else I beat. I don't care who else I lose to. Beat Shelby. And then I turn the corner and I see you spin out. And the reason I sounded like the Green Goblin is because I got that excited. I mean, I was so excited to see you spin out because I knew within the first 30 seconds that means I had got the win as long as I don't spin out.
Oh,
like
yeah, and like I said, you
during
were so far ahead that like if you would have like won, I'm not gonna be like that guy that's like, "Oh, of course you're gonna win," but like you should be really upset with yourself. I mean, you got like half a lap at least
I did
on me.
because after I saw Shelby spun out, my entire mentality changed to let's try to compete with my dad and my brother because they have always been better at, go-karting than me.
Right.
Not necessarily this time. I will hold true to I think they got faster go-karts than me because I was staying with them and even like competing around turns and whatnot. But once you get to the straightaways, they would pull away from me and it really pissed me off. So I was
Right.
competing with them for a long time, and then towards the end, I was thinking to myself, okay, where is Shelby at? I gotta not lose sight of what I'm doing, and I look all the way across the track, half the track away, and I see Shelby, and I immediately go, okay, this one's a wrap.
Dude, it was hot ass, bro. It was
So through all of
just
that shit
extreme
talking,
hot ass.
Nick wins the bet. Nick gets the free dinner. Love to see it.
Free B dubs, man. Free B dubs.
Love
Yeah,
to see it.
and I told him, but I was like, I'm not gonna like. Was it shitty circumstances? Yes, but I'm not gonna be that guy that like, oh, you only won because at the end, like I told him at the end of the day, someone else could have done the same thing to you.
I
But
would like to clarify and say, at the very beginning, like me and him were trash talking each other, and then we looked at the go karts before anybody could get in line or anything. And I turned to him and I said, I cannot wait for all of this trash talk for it to not even be a competitive race. I did say that.
oh yeah,
It's just really funny to me that it happened within the first 30 seconds.
first
Half a
damn
lap.
lap,
Half a lap.
dude. It was just. It was like probably five, maybe six total turns to that point. And it was just like Nick was saying, everything is out the damn window.
So, Mr. Shelby over there wins the entire event, but I win the bet. So we're both winners in our own respective
I
rights.
was gonna say who really won.
Getting
That's the
into
thing.
real quick before we move into the sports, we're talking about this honorary uncle thing, and a lot of people are probably confused. To get my car into the event, we had to, my quote unquote honorary uncle, it was supposed to be his car in the event. And to make sure that he did not lose his spot if he wants to do this next year, we had to enter my car under his name. And to
Oh,
make
is that why you
sure,
guys did it?
yeah. And so to
Oh,
kind of
okay.
make sure that questions weren't being asked or, too many eyes were being caught on us, he drove the car up. And the problem is that it is my car, but the insurance is in my dad's name, and he has a completely different name than us. So it's my car, my dad has the insurance, and there's this complete random guy just driving it. So we came up with the story of he's the uncle. He's my uncle, he's my dad's brother. That's why he's driving the car. Like his car's
Mm-hmm.
broke, I lent him my car to be in it, but he's driving even though he wasn't. But that's how we kind of swindled the registration thing. So he was my honorary uncle for the weekend.
Yep. And like I said, fantastic dude. I wouldn't mind for him to be my actual uncle. He just dope ass dude. Very dope.
His name is Mitch, and he is a great guy.
Oh yeah. Shout out to you, Mitch.
Shout
There's
out
like
Mitch. Is he
absolutely
is he
no
gonna
way
listen
he'll
to
see
this
this.
podcast? No.
There's like no way. But
So
shout out.
just know somewhere out there. Thank you, Mitch. Okay. As little recap on the drag and drive circuit. We talked about it a lot. Glad that we could clarify that. But now let's get into some sports talk. We're going to start off with the NFL. Couple of things happened this past week. Once again, today is Tuesday, April 23rd. Like to get the date out there as much as possible.
Yep, for sure.
We're going to start it off with the Houston Texans unveiling new jerseys. The Houston Texans unveiled new jerseys, like I just said. They
Mm-hmm.
have a home and away, a crimson jersey, a red crimson jersey, and a black alternate jersey. And the new Texans jersey, in my opinion, are very clean. I like them.
Really?
I do. I really love the red. The all red uniform is so nice.
Okay.
The black uniform, we've said it before on this podcast. everybody is wanting a black uniform. I don't know how I feel about that. That might take some time for me to, go to that side. The jersey itself looks good, don't get me wrong, but I'm
The
with you in the
ones,
fact that
the like Tennessee Titan looking ones?
yeah,
No way, dude.
the black
Gross.
with the
The like Houston
red.
Oiler looking ones?
Yeah, because they have like a new alternate logo that goes with it as well. I do not like the alternate logo. The like weird looking H. Don't like it.
No, no, not at all. Not at all. It seems very high school to me.
It does seem very high school. But I dig the all reds. I love the crimson helmets, the crimson
Oh
uniforms.
yeah. Dude, they're
I
so
dig the
clean.
all reds.
I will say what I really like about the alternate versions is that I hope this is the beginning of like other people following suit in the fact that because I feel like all the alternate jerseys and such would be like retro, which is cool. Like it's nice to have throwbacks, but like there's certain teams out there that has so much potential, but they just never make a new logo or just kind of step outside their comfort zone. That I hope because the Texans did that this is kind of like a start to people now doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, did you see that I think the who was it? It was the no, it was the Texans with the like horn looking logos on their helmets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
supposed to
don't
be a play on like their actual logo and how it has
yeah,
the
I
two
don't
horns at
like
the
it.
top.
I don't like it because in my eyes there's only was it two teams that can do that. That being the Philadelphia Eagles with the wings, and then the Vikings with the sweet ass horns. Like to me, that's the only ones that can really pull that off. I feel like the horn is just too bare. It just looks like an L.
I like having the logo on the side of the helmet. Like the actual team logo on the side of the helmet. I like when teams do that.
What do you mean? Like it being the horn,
No,
almost a
like it.
continuation.
No, not it being a continuation. Like when it's the actual logo slapped onto the side of the helmet.
Oh yeah, like everyone else in the league.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do too. Like I said, the Eagles. That's what they do. Like that's just a
Yeah.
real clean. I feel like the Eagles has very nice like wings to do that, and then the
Yeah.
Vikings. I mean, with
The
the
Vikings
with
have the
the
horns,
horn. I
which
mean,
is fair.
yeah, you cannot take that away from them.
I think it
But
just I think I like the logo slapped on the side of the helmet because as a young child watching the NFL, it took me forever to figure out what was on the side of the Vikings helmets.
I can see that. What really took me a long time while we were talking about logos was the K State. Like the case, I don't know how to explain it. It didn't look like a cat to me. Like I thought
Mm-hmm.
the like the where the mouth and the stripes are that goes down, I thought that was like its eye. So I thought it was just a really weird logo, and I never understood it. And then my cousin went to K State, and she kind of like broke it down for me, and I was like, oh, oh. I always thought it was like a weird logo. It's just a real bulky logo. I
Yeah.
didn't know that, and so I feel you on like not really understanding logos in their younger times. But I also think you have to have a pretty badass like thing. Like for instance, the Seahawks, their wings or whatever will look horrible as like the Philadelphia style.
Yeah.
It will look god awful.
Yeah.
Like there's only a very few teams that can pull it off, and I think it should stick to a few teams. Not like the damn black jersey revolution and shit like that. Like I think it should just be a few teams because I can't think off the top of my head a team that would be like really cool to have that continuation.
Well, speaking of the black jersey revolution, another team unveiled quote unquote new jerseys, but essentially they just unveiled the Carolina Panthers jersey, but they're not the Carolina Panthers.
I forgot about them, dude.
The Detroit Lions came out with a black jersey and like a new black helmet, and they look like the Carolina Panthers.
The Carolina Lions, dude. I I just don't get the black jerseys. I don't get because I guess Dan Campbell and the owner, I want to say, of the team had like a talk saying it. Dan Campbell was like, "Hey, I want to get black unis if we do very well this year," and obviously he did very well this year,
It
and
was
so
he'll come out with black uniforms when they win the division was the
win
stipulation.
the division. Okay, okay. So obviously they won the division, and so they got to roll out with those. But to me, like the Lions is just this like gritty, hard nose. We're gonna hit you in the we're gonna you may knock us down, but we're gonna take a bite of your kneecaps kind of
Mm-hmm.
people.
Uh-huh.
And then they come out with like the softest ass jerseys, softest ass. Like what is this? What is this? The black jersey looks like shit. Looks like shit. The blue doesn't even look like they're blue.
No,
Like
it
I'm sure it
doesn't.
is,
That's why.
but
Well, because it's that. I don't know if it's the lighting or whatnot, but like the blue looks darker. It literally looks like the Carolina Panthers blue. Because even if you look at like the other jerseys, the blue is kind of like a lighter blue, and then they get to the black, and it's darker than what's on their other jerseys.
yeah, I don't. I really don't know. I really don't know. It just was just not good.
And then last but not least, the Denver Broncos unveiled new jerseys, and they look god awful.
I don't get it, dude.
The only good thing to come out of it, I think, is the all white helmet. I don't
Yeah.
mind the all white helmet,
No.
but
Speaking of that,
oh my lord,
did you
just
see
the
that the
actual.
Cleveland Browns has the white face mask?
I do, and I don't.
Dude, I love it, dude. I don't know. There's something about white face that fucking that gets me hard, dude.
I
I love it. I love it.
I did see the white face masks, but I didn't think of it. I didn't think it was too much of a change, if I'm going to be honest.
I really
It
like
just
it.
seems something very minuscule.
I don't know. I like the white helmets, like in general, and so going specifically, like you were saying, the Broncos. I like the white helmets. I think everyone else can. It's kind of like everyone used to have white helmets, and then they change to like the colored helmets. Now everyone has colored helmets. Now the white ones are cool again.
Yeah,
It's kind of like it's just this constant flip flop of like, oh, I'm going to be edgy. Well, that's now the norm, so I'm going to be edgy by going back to what was normal, kind of thing. And I really like it. I like the old logo of the Denver. Now their new, or they're not new one, but they're like logo they've been using the last like forever. I love that logo. I really think that is one of the best logos in the NFL. I think it's a very underrated one. But I also think the jerseys should not have been touched. Or if they are, make it, more Bronco esque rather than again simplified like everything else in
yeah. It just
sports.
seems like they tried to make it sleek and simple, and it's like I think
Instead, they just make it simple and ass.
essentially they just don't look good to me. And the thing is that I feel like they came out with new jerseys not that long ago either.
Yeah, no,
Like I
I
feel like
think
they
you're
changed
right.
their jerseys maybe like when Russell Wilson got acquired. And I understand he's not with them anymore, but I don't think that means that they need to make new jerseys.
Yeah, I feel like what they're doing is like instead of actually fixing the team to make people interested, they're like, how can we make people buy jerseys? And it's like, oh, let's make new ones so they have to buy them. I wish, and this is my ask for everyone. If you actually like this jersey, it's your opinion. Just know it's a wrong opinion, but it is at the end of the day your opinion. But
It is a very
We
long
need,
opinion.
yes, we need to stop buying shit with just our teams like on them, you know? Like you need if you buy a jersey or whatever, that's fine. That's your money. You spend it how you want. But you should buy a jersey that you truly like or you have something to or some ties to it or stuff like that. Don't just buy it just because it's the newest Broncos jersey. Because what happens is these owners think, oh hey, we can just do whatever the hell we want because we're going to be getting money anyway. So let's just roll out new ones and just make it where you have to buy the new thing because you have to have it. Like I relate it to kind of to like 2K where nothing's changed except they got more sweaty and it's still the same broken shitty game, but because people are such stands for that game, they will continue to buy it.
Yeah. Because like me and you haven't bought a 2K game or even a Madden game in a long time. We'll always
Yep.
wait until it becomes like free
Yeah,
on like
either
either
free or
Xbox Game
three
Pass
dollars.
or yeah.
The last one I bought had Anthony Davis on the cover, and it was for $3. And I was like, I can justify $3, and then I play it for like the next 2 years.
Realistically, the last one that I bought for 2K was technically 2K20 with Anthony Davis on the cover, but that's because it came with my Xbox. If we're talking just
Yeah,
the game, the last one that I bought was 2K16 for my Xbox 360. Like that's how long it's been since I bought. Or no, I guess I bought. Oh yeah, I forgot. I bought 2K22 when it was on sale for like $5.
yeah, dude, it's just the way to do it. Like buying full games just for you to play it for like half a week and then be like, oh, okay, I'm done. Like, it's sad.
Talking about getting things for a sale, the Denver Broncos created the absolute worst quarterback room I have ever seen on my with my 21 years on this earth with acquiring Zach Wilson from the New York Jets. Listen to
Yeah,
this. Their quarterback
listen.
room is Zach Wilson, Jarrett Stidham, and Ben DiNucci.
Hell
That
yeah.
is their quarterback room as of Tuesday, April 23rd, today's date.
That's that's so bad. That's so bad.
It's starting to make sense why they came out with the new jerseys. Even the Broncos are like, oh my god, the team sucks. We're going to have to do something to get people to watch.
Yeah, it's like this ain't good.
And then last but not least, the Chiefs extend Andy Reid and Brett Veach, their head coach and general manager. So, pretty good move for the Chiefs. Obviously, Super Bowl winning head coach, Super Bowl building general manager.
Yep.
Good moves for them.
Yeah, for sure.
And with it be so, that is all for NFL news. Technically, Matt Ryan did retire, but I mean, let's be honest, he hasn't played football for 3 years. He's
And
been
even when he
retired for
did
3 years.
play, like, did he really?
Yeah. So that's all for NFL news. The NFL draft is 2 days away. The NFL draft takes place on Thursday, April 25th. Today is Tuesday, April 23rd. So, ladies and gentlemen, we still have another draft here on All Snap.
One more draft. Woo.
We decided that this draft is going to be a bit of a bigger one, broader one. We've kind of done drinks and whatnot and things that like are kind of tightly packed. This draft is going to be villains, movie villains, video game villains, TV series villains, any bad guy that you can think of is draft eligible.
Mm-hmm.
And Shelby, this draft, I'm looking at my candidates here. I The first couple rounds are going to be easy, but boy oh boy, there are some good villains
That's kind of what I was realizing too. When I made my
that
list, I was like, damn, I don't know. Like, do I take him first or like can he sneak down to the fourth one? Like it's pretty I feel like it's pretty top heavy.
it is very top heavy.
Like I feel like it's the top four, like top 3 or 4 rounds is gonna be like almost the same tier of S to A. And then after that it kind of drops down a bit because I could do things that I think are good villains, but I'm also trying to win, you know?
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what we're here for.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to win. Now, you had the first pick last week with the drinks,
Yep.
so it is my turn for the first round pick.
Okay.
I could do it. I could take him from you. You're letting me look right at him
Yeah.
every time, but I'm not going to. I'm
Okay.
going to be the nice person, but I'm going to take still such an in-depth villain. I'm going to take the fallen one. I'm going to take Darth Vader.
He was my first pick too. I
The
feel like
fallen one.
you
He
you
was
can't have a more cinematic villain in history, a more iconic villain than Darth Vader.
the iconic, the way that he got introduced. Everybody, like, there's all this gunfire going around, bodies are dropping, a lot of smoke is coming around, and then you just see the red appear. And he just walks out from the smoke.
Yeah.
Oh, so cool.
Have you
And
seen Rogue, like Rogue One?
I have seen Rogue One.
Is that when Vader comes through not the dopest scene in like almost all of Star Wars?
It's so good.
So if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend just look up Darth Vader Rogue One, and I'm sure it'll pop up. It is such. It's only a few minutes. Watch it. It
Because
gives me
it's
chills.
Yeah, because it's at the very end. But, like,
Hmm.
it's such an intricate character, knowing that he was the chosen one at the beginning. Movies 1 through 3, he was the chosen one, and then he turned, he fell to the dark side. Like, his character, iconicness. Yeah, Darth Vader, number one.
That's a good one. That is, like I said, that was gonna be my first pick. So obviously, I think if with that out of the way, because I want you to know, like I said, that would have been my first pick. I'm gonna have to go with the Joker. I feel like he's been a great, great, great villain through almost any stage other than Suicide Squad, but that movie's trash. I feel like, I mean, you have Jack Nicholson, who was just an absolute madman. You had the pure anarchy that Heath Ledger brought with his Dark Knight or with his Joker. You
Mark
have
Hamill in the
Mark
animated
Hamill.
series.
So my favorite Joker is Heath Ledger. That I can quote that movie through and through. I love that movie. That is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Why so serious?
my my dad came at me with a knife. But the best Joker is Mark Hamill. My favorite one is Heath Ledger, but the best one is Mark Hamill. I mean, you have the Batman video games that is insanely good. You have the animated series. The one I'm currently showcasing being one of them. I mean, just absolute banger after banger after banger. So that's going to be my pick as the Joker.
That's a good pick. Now, we here, moving on to round number two, me and you here, we're fans of anime.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And so that's where I'm going with this one. We're big fans of anime, and I decided that this guy is round two worthy because he was such a big villain, and this anime cannot seem to let him go.
I think I
We
know
have
who's
been,
going.
and he is such a big part. I mean, he created the number one transformation in all of anime for me. This transformation
Oh.
would not be able to happen if it wasn't for Frieza from Dragon Ball Z.
Hmm. So I didn't put him down, and I'm not saying you're wrong for it because he is a villain. But to me, I didn't put any Dragon Ball characters because they all become friends at the end.
Not Frieza.
Yeah, he's still part of the group. That's why I don't. That's why I'm not like, you know, like Goku and Vegeta. That makes sense. They're yin and yang. But like to me, Frieza, like it kind of discounts what he done before. Like all the whole 3 months worth of episodes of him just fighting Goku on Planet Namek and all just stuff like
But
that.
you had the Planet Namek saga. You had the Golden Frieza arc, which so he kind of showcased, or he kind of was a big part of Super Saiyan. He was a big part of Super Saiyan Blue. Even in the Tournament of Power, nobody trusted him. He
I
kind of
wouldn't.
hid away until the very end.
Yeah, big shout out to him for absolutely
And even
making a
now,
fool
like,
out of Cooler.
and even there are like, he made a fool out of Cooler, and even like he was a big part of Broly, which is now canon.
Yeah,
They cannot seem to go away from Frieza, and it is well deserved because Frieza is such a good villain in my eyes.
right, right. Yeah, like I said, it's just something I couldn't do, but I understand it, and I think that's a good pick. So with my second pick, I'm gonna go with potentially one of the greatest villains in video game history. You know, you think of a lot of big time villains in video games, but none quite like this. None quite like the twist that had was it 9, 10-year-old Shelby in absolute tears.
I know where
I
you're
mean,
going with
it is
this.
it is probably one of the greatest twists in video game history. I mean, absolutely lead you one way, snap you back the other, like it's a Kyrie snapback
Before
crossover.
you make your pick, I would like to say two words to see where this is going. So you
Okay,
can you can finish out your
okay,
spiel, but
okay.
do you want me to say the words now or
Just saying.
the words that I'm gonna say now? Poor Ghost.
Yep. Give me General Shepard from Modern.
That's a good
Dude,
one. General
that
Shepard from
whole
Modern Warfare 2. That's a good one.
that whole mission when you're in Estate's little house up on the mountain or up in the hill there, just fending off tons of enemies from from destroying the data you're trying to collect from the computers, and then you know Ghost dragging you out of this fucking place, shooting down enemies and all that, just to be betrayed and set on fire. Holy God.
Yeah,
Call of Duty was on their shit.
no, they really were because Ghost is still and was my favorite character in all of the Call of Duty series. I like
Yep.
Soap and I like Ghost. I mean, obviously, Captain Price is very beloved as well, but I am a big fan of Ghost. And just seeing that bullet go through his stomach
Mm-hmm.
made it feel like there was a bullet going through my stomach.
Facts. You know who's a very underrated Call of Duty character?
Who?
Yuri from Modern Warfare 3.
Oh, Yuri. Yeah.
Very underrated. I feel like it was overshadowed by Ghost and Soap. What kind of name is Soap? But yeah, when Soap is like on the table and says, "Oh,
Yeah, when Soap's dying,
dude,
Makarov knows Yuri.
dude," I literally got chills.
I
Like, God,
played
that's such
through
a
that
good.
Modern Warfare 3 campaign so many times,
As you
and
should.
that scene made me cry almost every single time. But I'm
For
going to move
sure.
on. General Shepard, great pick. For my round three, I'm going to go with potentially the oldest video game villain out there.
Okay.
You know, when video games first came around, there weren't a lot. There was Pong, and then it kind of expanded to there. You had arcade games, and then it kind of expanded to at home video game consoles. But this is a villain that's still around today. And this was a villain that made its debut when when each pixel could be seen. And just the thought of this guy. He's not some real intricate character. This man is just a giant turtle with spikes on his back.
Peaches, 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 peaches,
Exactly. He
peaches.
came out with an absolute banger of a song. He had Jack Black, of all people, for a voice actor. This man is one of if this man is one of the best Mario Kart villains. You can play him in Super Smash Bros. I mean, Bowser is gonna be my round three pick.
That's good. That is good. So, all right. So I have the Joker. I have General Shepard. I'm gonna go with another great villain. The movie series is fantastic. They're long. They have such stands of it. All the characters are puzzle pieced perfectly into one. I mean, truly, I think J.K. Rowling's was on her shit
Mmm.
doing this. I'm gonna go
Mmm.
with the the what do they say? He who shall not be named,
I mean, that's.
Voldemort.
I had him on my list.
Mm-hmm.
I had him on my list. That's a good one. I mean, when your nickname is literally "He who shall not be named," that says something.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I mean it has one of the greatest memes of all time when he laughs in the Deathly Hollows.
I like the boy who lives
Has
has
come
come to
to
die.
die.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good pick. I have him on my list.
Hell yeah.
Round four. One of the most ruthless villains out there. I'm sticking with the video game world, but one of the most ruthless villains out there. I have yet to meet another villain that during a fight will laugh at you. This man will create a giant hammer out of thin air, throw it at you, and then proceed to laugh at you. This man is notorious for conquering realms, killing stars. I'm taking Shao Kahn.
I was like, I don't know who this is. That's good. That is a good pick. I'm actually kind of mad at myself that I don't have any more.
Yeah, Shao Kahn was, and he would make me so mad because in Mortal Kombat 9, he would he would either create a giant hammer out of thin air or create a spear out of air, throw it at you, and then proceed to put his hands on his hips and laugh at you, or point at you and call you pathetic during the fight. Oh, it's still making me angry.
Good old Shao Kahn.
Shao Kahn,
Good old
ruthless,
Shao Kahn.
conqueror of realms is his nickname.
Yeah, that is pretty damn good. And so this is fourth, right? Fourth round.
Fourth round.
Okay. Oh man. So we didn't lay any ground rules. Is there any ground rules?
There's not any ground rules from what I
Okay.
am
So
aware of, at least.
that's a pretty damn good hint if you know where I'm going. We kind of talked about him. Yuri knows him. He is known for having one of the most edgy scenes in any video game. You know, speak no Russian. You say that to anyone, and there's a good chance that if they play video games, they know exactly. A mission so bloody and so twisted that it was optional to not play it. You know, at the end of Modern Warfare 3, it ends with you finally unaliving this character, and in a pretty fantastic fashion. Nick, who am I talking about?
You're talking about Vladimir Makarov.
Vladimir Vakarov.
I
It
also
is.
had him on my list. I thought I was going to be able to get him round 5 because you took General Shepard. Having
I
two Call of Duty characters on there is a bold move, but they are such good
I
characters,
was gonna say it
such
is
good
bold.
villains.
It is bold, but I think they're what I like about them is that they're not the same. That's why I really like it. I feel like nowadays video games, movies, um, show series all have a tendency of putting out the same villain, just named differently or look a little different. These are completely different villains, and I feel like the old Call of Duty really, really, really did it right. And the fact that this was Modern Warfare 2 had General Shepard, but also had Makarov in the background, just for him to fully immerse himself to being the main villain in Modern Warfare 3 was genius. So that's my pick is Vladimir Makarov.
Yeah, and you spend the entire Modern Warfare series hunting him down, actually. The old Modern
Mm-hmm.
Warfare series, hunting him
Yeah.
down. But, I mean, there's other villains that pop up along the way that you obviously need to hunt down first. And yeah, Vladimir Makarov. Like I said, the I have played the Modern Warfare 3 campaign so many times. I even completed it on the hardest difficulty. Vladimir Makarov is such a good villain.
Yes, he is.
Now with this is round number 5. I have two villains in mind, and I don't know which one I want to go. Because I can go with probably one of the most popular villains out there, or I can go with my personal favorite.
You know what, Nick? I'll do this just to make it more personal. If you go with your favorite, because I also have two that I'm kind of debating the same thing. I will go with my favorite. Now, I don't think is necessarily the right pick, but I'll go with it.
All right, I love to hear that. A little show a little personality. This is
Well,
my absolute all-time favorite video game villain. This is one of, if not my absolute all-time favorite video game. And he makes this video game
mm,
so special. I mean,
let me
it's a
ask you: Is he
campaign.
Is he good looking?
He is. He is good looking. Some would call him handsome even. There is
Hell yeah.
no villain that would. I talked about how Shao Kahn would laugh at you and call you weak and pathetic. There is no villain who would have such sly remarks from beginning to end. This villain literally bought a pony made of diamonds just to make fun of just to make fun of the main character. Handsome Jack will forever and always be my absolute favorite video game villain. From the second he tries to kill you on the train, he'll even say, "Oh, you survived? That's cool. You're still gonna die because you're weak and pathetic." And just from beginning to end, you see at first he's the funny villain, and then towards the end he gets very malicious and very bloodthirsty towards the end. The character development between him, and you even see into his backstory in Borderlands the pre-sequel. Handsome Jack is has to be on my team.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's a good pick. I'm surprised your Borderlands 2 can even still play with how much time is on that. I figure it would just be raw.
Every time I load up my Borderlands 2, it's going.
Please not again.
Because, yeah, I have put so many hours into Borderlands 2, and Handsome Jack always makes me laugh.
Yeah, I really wish so. I can't really play Borderlands because art style gives me, which I appreciate their art style. I do. I love that they're different, and I love that it was just a concept art that just stuck. Like that's so cool to me of how they just made that work. But it just gives me such a bad headache, and so unfortunately, I do miss out on them. I know they're huge, huge, huge things. So with mine, I'm gonna go. So I have two. I'm still going with my. But man, I have two kind of favorites, and I think I'm still gonna go with Bane from Dark Knight Rises.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Bane as a character, as a villain. Oh, so good.
oh dude, and I used to be able to do his voice well, and like I'm still gonna try it, but I'm sure because now I'm on the scene, it's gonna be not as good. So let's see. Your precious armory, Batman. I was always wondering what would break first, your spirit or your body.
The
Again,
scene, or not the scene, the quote. I'm not going to attempt the Bane voice because I am god awful at it, and I
do
know
it.
I am.
Come on, come on, come on.
All right, all right.
All right,
I
hell
love the
yeah.
quote. The quote of, "I was born in the darkness. You merely just adopted it."
It's actually I was born in the darkness, molded by it. You, I didn't see the light till I was merely a man. And by then it was blinding. Because then he just decides to grab Batman by the scrotum and just absolutely destroy every vertebrae in his back. That movie is so damn good, and I love The Dark Knight, but I almost hate it at the same time that it's still like casts a shadow over The Dark Knight Rises because that movie is fantastic, fantastic.
Yeah, the Bane, the villain in the video games, menacing. Bane, the
Hmm.
movie villain, is so good.
Yeah, what's really crazy is like how that all happened is he just like kind of made it up.
Yeah,
the Tom Hardy just kind of made it up. And that's crazy to me.
the scene where he goes and blows up the football field to kind of get everybody's attention. There's so many iconic scenes from Bane.
What a lovely voice. Dude.
So,
Oh, so awesome. At
to
Heinz Field of all
recap,
things.
to recap, my team is Darth Vader, Frieza, Bowser, Shao Kahn, and Handsome Jack.
And mine is the Joker, General Shepard, Voldemort, Makarov, and Bane. I just
Now,
realized that I have two Batmans and two Call of Duties.
yep.
Not a lot of not a lot of options for me. But I still think I picked banger ones. It just shows that
It just shows
the
how good.
Christian Bale's Batman's was insane,
It
and
just shows
so
how
was
good
early Call
those
of
were.
Duty.
Yeah. So, my final pick, I was between Handsome Jack and Thanos.
Yeah, I don't know. Thanos is so overrated to me. Like he's good. I want that to be clear. He is good. I'm not being a hater, but to me, there's better villains out there. And maybe it's because the Avengers was dragged out for so long, and that Endgame to me is a giant letdown of a movie because it was
Yeah,
just
that's
three
fair.
hours of just giving the crowd what they want and not necessarily wrapping anything up.
Yeah,
But
that's fair.
that's a
I
talk for a different
also
day.
I also had Michael Myers on my list. That was the other
That's
person that got left off.
That is good, but for me, it's tough to be a villain if it's literally the main character. Like, I feel like there almost has to be like a hero, and I know there's that one Curtis. Is it Jamie Lee Curtis? Is that the character's name,
I
or is
think
that the
so.
actor?
I
I don't
don't
know.
know if that's the as I say, I don't know if that's the character or the actor.
I don't remember, but whoever it is, like she, yes, in theory, she does like try to unalive Michael Myers, but I don't know. It's not like a hero villain thing to me as all the other ones were. So I decided to leave him off my list. Another one I had on my list was Cell from Dragon Ball.
Mm-hmm.
I think I mean literally the fact that he made a arena just for if you want to get thumped, come here.
Yeah.
And I mean he brought the androids and literally the androids also turned on like I mean it was just a really good character. But
I know they're different villains, but this new movie with Cell Max kind of
oh,
like
garbage, dude.
it was such a
Oh
bad
my god.
movie, and that movie just kind of like deterred me from putting Cell.
That makes sense, and it's funny because it's also very because like I said, I thought Frieza was kind of too close to the group, where Cell was absolutely shit on by the newest movie. So
Yeah,
so I get your reasoning behind it because I feel like not the same reasoning, but I also had a reasoning, but I didn't pick Frieza.
yeah. And so yeah, let us know. Let us know in the comments who you think won. Once again, Darth Vader, Frieza, Bowser, Shao Kahn, and Handsome Jack make up Nick's five.
And mine is the Joker, General Shepard, Voldemort, Bane, or Makarov, and Bane.
So let us know who you think won in the comments. And let us know if you want us to continue doing the drafts. Obviously, the NFL draft is next Thursday, and we started this little bit to kind of lead up to the NFL draft and whatnot. So let
Mm-hmm.
us know if you want us to continue this. Obviously, we have a lot of fun with it, but we also like to listen to our viewers as well.
Yeah, and also if you have any more suggestions, I really like the section break things up. Um, if you have any game suggestions, then absolutely slide it through. We'll see if we like them. If we do, we'll do them.
And so we move on from the NFL and the fun little draft to the NBA. And the NBA playoffs started on Friday, I believe it was. Friday or Saturday. One of those 2 days. And these series for the NBA playoffs have already been super exciting to watch.
Yep. Yeah, this year has been very, very uh, competitive. Even if it looks like the what is it? The Celtics are running away with the East. That doesn't mean the Knicks aren't here to play, or the Bucks are going to lay down without a fight. It's beautiful to see.
I mean, we're going to start in the Eastern Conference. As you said, the Celtics just seem to be running away, and you're right. The Heat can try to do whatever they want to, but the Celtics just look like they're just going to easily win that series.
Yeah, it just looks like the Heat are just. I mean, I'm pretty sure Jimmy Butler just recently went down.
Yeah,
If
he
that's
went
the
down in the
case,
play-in
then
tournament.
yeah, and if that's the case, then they're cooked. I mean, you're looking for Bam Adebayo to be the lead person because Tyler Hero just isn't cutting it. I mean, Bam's good, but not when you expect big things out of him.
Mm-hmm.
So
The number 2 seed in the East facing the number 7 seed, the Knicks and the 76ers having such good games.
hmm
I mean, game 1 was very close up until the end. The 70 where it was 111 to 104, the Knicks took the game 1. Like I said, very close in that game. And Josh Hart has been going off. Jalen Brunson's obviously been doing Jalen Brunson things. Joel Embiid is not going down without a fight. And game 2 felt like March Madness. Like
yes,
I sent you the ending of that game last night. Just down by 5 points with about 40 seconds left. Jalen Brunson makes a three with 27 seconds remaining on the clock to go down or to cut the lead to 2. So the Knicks down by 2 then are able to get away with a couple fouls, steal the ball, miss a three, get the offensive rebound, and drill one to go up by 1 point. All within a span of 30 seconds. And then just to see the 76ers come down, miss a shot, have the Knicks shoot free throws, and then the 76ers miss the game tying three. It literally felt like March Madness with everything that was going on. And the NBA has came out and said that Tyrese Maxey got fouled twice on the inbound play at the very end, and Nick Nurse did call a timeout there at the very end as well, but that did not get recognized by the refs. And so the 76ers feel like they got robbed, which, I mean, you can very clearly make the argument that they did. But
yeah,
even,
but we've said it before. I mean, you can blame the refs, but one, that's not going to do anything for the loss, and two, it's kind of your fault for keeping it that close.
Joel Embiid after the game in his post game press conferences said they should be 2-0 right now and that they're fine, that they'll win the series. Like, I'm kind of paraphrasing what he said. I'm pretty sure it was something like, we're fine, we'll win the series, we should be 2-0 against the New York Knicks.
hmm
So, and I mean, if Joel Embiid doesn't go down, the 76ers are looking like a 2 seed or a 3 seed in the East. So, I mean, we are quite literally seeing a round 2 matchup here in round number 1. It has been a great series. I'm trying to think of who the 3 seed is. The Milwaukee Bucks and the Indiana Pacers squaring off in round one. It's only been one game played so far, and Damian Lillard showed up. Dame time.
Mm-hmm.
Nearly outscored the entire Pacers in the first half. Damian Lillard did that himself. At one point, I think Damian Lillard had 33, and the entire Pacers team had 36 or something like that. And that just, I mean, Damian Lillard is a playoff performer. We've seen it time and time again where he's stood out in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, game time, baby.
Game two is tonight between the Pacers and Bucks. So excited to see what happens there. But as of right now, the Bucks are on a 1-0 series lead. And then last but not least, the 4 and the 5 seed on the east side. The Cleveland Cavaliers have actually been putting one on the Magic. I mean, Donovan Mitchell showing up when the Cleveland Cavaliers need him to. 23 points in game number 2. And then in game number one, he had 30. And I mean, these have been really low scoring games.
Yeah, I mean that's two great defenses matching up with in the Magic and the Cavs. So
Two two games have been going on, or two games have happened. The Magic have yet to score 90 points in this series in 2 games. Meanwhile, the Cavaliers have yet to score 100 points. I mean, both games have been like 80s to 90s.
hmm
And then
and
oh, go for it.
and actually the there's games being finaled right now. The Pacers and Bucks are at the end of the third, and then the Mavericks and Clippers just started. But we'll finish what you're saying, and then we'll get to the new ones that just happened.
Yeah. So, and then the West side, moving on to the West side for the NBA. The Oklahoma City Thunder squeaked out a win against the New Orleans Pelicans game 1.
Mm-hmm.
Squeaked it out. 94 to 92.
Yep. Did you
Watched that game.
did you see Jalen Williams bark after getting picked up by? So
So
weird, dude.
a reporter asked him about that, and Jalen Williams pretty much said that like I got picked up by Valanciunas and did not know what to do, so I just instinctively barked.
Dude, the Thunder remind me of just like a really really well-oiled machine that's just a bunch of kids. I mean,
Yeah,
being I believe the second youngest roster in the league, being this good. I mean, it's just so funny to me.
yeah, and just it's that like just like doing stuff that me and you would do because they are our age, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, I think Shea is 25. Yeah, he's 25. I'm the same age as Shea.
Yeah, so they are
one of
our
us
age.
one of us isn't very successful, and the other one won the versus you class. So he may have damn near an MVP, but I have an actual trophy. So
Exactly. Right now, you have more trophies than SGA.
I have more hardware than Shea
Embrace
Gilgeous
it.
Alexander. Yep. At some point, Shea, when after you're done putting up 31 points a game, you'll come mess around and catch my point 0.03 whatever average.
At the very end of that Thunder Pelicans game, The game was tied, I think with like a minute and a half remaining or something like that. The score was 92 to 92. The Pelicans had four chances. They had three offensive rebounds and like I think three open 3-pointers that they didn't make. And then lastly, they had a floater blocked by Chet. Chet ended the game with 5 blocks, by the way. That's just absolutely insane for a playoff debut.
Mm-hmm.
But Chet ended the game with like 5 blocks. He had essentially the game sealing block because then the Thunder went down and scored 2 points, and then the Pelicans had the absolute worst possession I think I've ever seen to try to seal a game off. I mean, CJ McCollum was trying to dribble the ball 35 feet away from the rim and just ended up losing it. And then they just hucked a three.
Yep, sounds about right. Sounds like an effective strategy.
So the Thunder squeak out one against the Pelicans. They have a 1-0 series lead as of right now. The 2 seed and the 7 seed in the West are the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Lakers. And boy, oh boy, what a series this has been. The Lakers have had double-digit leads in both of these games. The Lakers have blown double-digit leads in both of these games. They had a 10-point lead in game number 1 and a 20-point lead in game number 2 in the third quarter. And the Nuggets ended up coming back last night, and Jamal Murray with a beautiful game-winning shot. I mean, mid-range step back over Anthony Davis, beautiful shot. The Lakers are now 0-10 against the Nuggets in the past 10 games that they faced them.
Yeah, that's called having their numbers for sure.
The Minnesota Timberwolves have a 2-game series lead over the Phoenix Suns. This series is fun to watch because of Anthony Edwards versus Kevin Durant. I mean, just the trash talking that's going on between Anthony Edwards. There was a point where Anthony Edwards was talking trash, and then Kevin Durant rattled off like 4 or 5 straight buckets.
KD's gonna do KD things. Go show.
KD is definitely going to do KD things, but it's not enough to get past the Timberwolves quite yet. And last
Nope.
but not least, the Clippers and the Mavericks. And I said it at the very beginning last week, or not the very beginning of the show last week, but when we were discussing what was going to happen during the series. And I said James Harden is going to have one good game sealing game during the series. And I'm a bit nervous because they made him use it game 1 of the series. With Kawhi Leonard out. Luckily, Kawhi Leonard's playing in game 2. But Kawhi Leonard had to sit out game 1. James Harden took off. And he had, I believe, like 28 points and like 6 assists or something like that. Just absolute masterclass of a game. Clippers jumped out to a huge lead because of the second quarter where they only allowed the Mavericks to score 8 points in 12 minutes. And right now that game is going on, or game 2 of that series is going on, but as of right now, the Clippers lead 1-0.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
The playoffs, well, they're here, and they're exciting.
I love it.
These games are
I
so fun to watch.
I love it. I know once this weekend, now that we're not, I know that it's going to be hopefully a lot of basketball. Because you're coming up, aren't you?
Yes, I'll be visiting my family this weekend.
Are you going to be staying the whole weekend?
Yep,
Perfect. We'll
I'll
probably
be
do
up.
dinner then.
I'll be up Friday. I'll be up Saturday, and I'm even staying Sunday because my Monday morning classes are not meeting in person anymore, and that's very nice.
Hell yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, how
I'll be
much longer do you
staying.
have?
I have, as of right now, obviously it's Tuesday, April 23rd, but as of right now, I have 2.5 weeks left.
Wow, dude, that's nuts.
Yeah, next week is what my college considers dead week, which is essentially like get all your projects and everything, get all your projects papers turned in and everything, so that way you can stay up all day and all night preparing for tests and finals. Prepare for your body to be dead. I don't know.
Gross.
I don't know if that's the actual reason, but that's what I like to think of it as. It is called Dead Week, though. So yeah, 2.5 weeks left of school. Very excited. It means I'm going to be able to get to watch a lot more basketball without having to loom over if I'm going to be able to stay awake in class. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, baby. So, what do you what are some things you're hoping to see from the Clippers? Obviously, a W would be nice, but are you looking to see like because I know they weren't very off to a good start in the season. You know, they kind of started tapering off and whatnot. So, do you want to see like you know real big hopeful leaps in a certain direction? Do you want to see their defense increase? Do you want to see Kawhi Leonard be utilized more? Like, what are some things?
So I think Kawhi Leonard is going to be utilized because it's Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
Something that I would like to see is some utilization of young players. I mean, we saw like Ivica Zubac go out there and have like a 20 point, 20 rebound double double. I think it was game one. I would like to see Amir Coffey get a little bit of utilization. He's been fairly fairly good for our second unit when he goes on the court. I'd like to see Terrence Mann get some utilization. Terrence Mann is a very good defensive player who also um, slashes a lot.
Okay.
And Terrence Mann is probably going to be Terrence Mann and Kawhi Leonard are probably going to be the primary defenders for Luka and Kyrie, if I had to assume. Um, but that's really what I would like to see. I'd just like to see some utilization from some of the younger players because obviously we're going to see the James Harden, the Paul George, the Kawhi Leonard, and whatnot. But I'm hoping that we don't focus on them three. Like I hope that they spread the ball like they did in the regular season.
Okay.
Is there anything that you are wanting to see from the Oklahoma City Thunder?
Um. Yeah, I would like to see the bench kind of play a little bit better. I mean, you have the Jalen Williams, the big man, Jalen Williams. You know, he's coming off the bench, I do believe, and I just feel like there's times where he doesn't do like a damn thing that I wish he kind of would. And like in stats now, I know you said it was a close game, but Um, Jalen Williams, yeah, he had 7 minutes and 6 points. Then there's Kyron Williams, who's pretty good shooter, good 3-and-D player. 9 minutes, 2 points. Gordon Hayward, 9 minutes, 0 points. Isaiah Joe, 15 minutes, 5 points. Andrew Wiggins, no, not Andrew Wiggins. No, it's not Andrew Wiggins. It's
Aaron Wiggins.
Aaron Wiggins. That's what. Aaron Wiggins. He had 16 minutes, 6 points. All these players are just kind of like meh. They're not really doing anything. So I like to see a little bit more production. Josh Giddey having 2 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists in 20 minutes is pathetic. I mean, he's more or less like the white Draymond Green. And when he isn't doing Draymond Green things, because at least Draymond Green brings defense when he doesn't. He's supposed to bring the Swiss Army knife. And the fact that I don't think, yeah, Pelicans didn't have Zion. I don't believe.
No, they did not.
Yeah, so I mean, the fact that it was that close without you know, their best, if not second best player, is pretty sad. So I would like to see more production out of the little men.
That's funny. We both essentially have the same thought for what we would like to see out of our teams.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, because kind of like what you said with Kawhi Leonard going to do his thing, I feel like, Shea's going to do his thing of not
Yeah.
winning you versus you. So I feel like mostly it's just going to be the battle of the little men.
And yeah, with that being said, is there any other NBA things that you wanted to talk about?
Um, I really don't think so. I think I got pretty much everything out of my system.
Well, then today is Tuesday, April 23rd, and we thank all of you guys for
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you,
listening
thank you.
to us ramble for an hour and a half. Whether you come back because we bring smiles to your faces or you think our takes are good or bad, whatever it is, we appreciate you guys tuning in and week out. And even if you don't, we appreciate you guys clicking on any video that we post up.
Share it. Share it to everyone. Buy
Let
that
this
billboard that's just outside your town on the highway. Post Aw Snap on it.
exactly. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed it. Comment who won the draft, any takes that you think were good, any takes that you think were bad. Subscribe if you want to, get notifications about this podcast that happens weekly.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, once again, this has been the Next Average Podcast, the Shelby Nick Average Podcast, or as we like to call it, Aw Snap. We thank all of you guys for tuning in, and we will see you all next week.
Bye.